So today we will start discussing from teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and that's from his teachings to Sanatana Goswami Pad. So, as previously we have discussed that Mahaprabhu, he spoke about three energies that Lord has, and he quoted profusely from Vishnu Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam, and he spoke about the three different energies of the Lord: the internal potency, external potency, and marginal potency. So, to answer the first question of Sanatan Goswami that he has asked, Ke Ami, who am I? Actually, that is the question that should be asked by each and every living entity. Being a human being, that's the foremost question that we should ask. And the next one that he asked about, Ki, Keno tapatre, why I am suffering here in this material world? An answer to that question, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Krishna bholi se jiva anadi bahirmukha atayeva mayatare dheye samsara dukkha. Forgetting Krishna, the living entity has been attracted by the external feature from time immemorial. Therefore, the illusory energy, that is Maya, gives him all kinds of misery in his material existence. So, first of all, Lord explained about that living entity is none other than the part and parcel of the Lord. So, being the part and parcel of the Lord, as Lord is Satchidananda Vigraha, He is full of knowledge, He is full of bliss, and He is eternal. So, Jiva is also minutely, He is eternal, He is also full of knowledge, and He is also in bliss. But His bliss gets covered by the marginal potency. Why that get covers? As explained here. Krishna Bahirmukha Hayya. When Jiva, he looks upon all the material happiness and he neglects the presence of Lord, he becomes Bahirmukha. And that becomes the cause of his bondage. That's what Mahaprabhu is explaining here. He gets attracted by the external feature of the Lord's external energy, Maya. And she keeps him under his control and makes him suffer here. How does he suffer? As Lord says that the jivas who are in the mode of goodness, they go to upperly planets. Urdhvam gacchati sattvasto madhye tishtati rajasa jaganyo gunavrityasto adho gacchandi tamasa. When once he gets covered by the modes of material nature, then whichever mode is prominent, according to that, he gets influenced by that mode and his destination gets fixed. Mahaprabhu says, Kabu swarge uthai, Kabu narke dubai. Dandaya jane raja yena nedite chobai. So Mahaprabhu is giving here a nice analogy. He explains about that sometimes he goes up, sometimes he goes down. As like previously, if someone is caught while stealing something, then he gets punished by the king. So what sort of a punishment they used to give him? They used to forcefully dip his mouth in the water and he used to get suffocated as if like he is going to die, and then immediately they used to take him up. So same way, living entity, because of his desires to enjoy in this material world, he gets drowned in this ocean of material existence. And when he really thinks that now he is gone, then Maya takes him out immediately. He breathes and he feels like, now I'm out of that. But again, they put him down in the water. And that's what happening with us. The material suffering in this material world, they are like the waves of the ocean. Why they are compared with the waves of ocean? Have you any experience about the waves of ocean? What they do? See, not just they drag you in, they drag you in, and that wave gives you a big slap also, and then it throws you out. And that's what happens, We think everything is enjoyable here. Like taking birth, people they celebrate every year. Happy birthday, happy birthday. But what kind of happiness is that? The day when we are born, was that a happiest situation? Just when we came to this material world, just like a lump of some muscles actually. And that is also thrown out from the mother's body due to the pressure of air. And when it comes around everywhere, it is surrounded by the filth. Then they have to wash it. And after washing, what is the first thing they do? So that the child can breathe, they give a first slap and make you cry. If you are not cried, then you are considered abnormal. So what is the normal condition in this life? Not only crying, getting slapped and then crying. And we celebrate every year. Oh, this is the day when I got my first slap on my face and I started crying. And that's what I'm continuing through. So this is what we need to understand. And that's why Mahaprabhu says here, Kabu swarge uthaye, kabu narake dubai, dandaya jane raja henan nindite chobai. The way kings punishes the thief, so same way we get punished here in this material world. Why is it so? Then Mahaprabhu, he quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam, and that is from the 11th canto, 2nd chapter, text number 37, where one of the Navayogendras, Kavi, he is explaining to Vasudeva, the father of Lord Sri Krishna. He is explaining that the base of existence in this material world for Jiva is nothing other than fear. And he says, Bhayam dvitiya abhiniveshataha sya ishad apetasya viprayaya asmritir. So what is the cause of fear in this material world? He says that viparyayo, becoming bahirmukha to the Lord, means going away from the Lord is the real cause of fear in this material world. Tan mayaya yato buddha abhajate he bhaktya ekalya esham guru devatatma. Here he explains that when the living entity is attracted by the material energy, which is separate from Krishna, he is overpowered by fear. If someone is in the bondage, he's definitely having a fear. But if somebody asks us what we say, we flatly lie. If someone asks you, how are you? What is our answer? I'm fine. Are you? Because of this sort of explanation, my brother used to tell me, you ISKCON people are always negative about their life. You always say there is a negativity in your life. Why you have to scare people about the sufferings of this world? because they think ignorance is the bliss. But that's not the bliss. If you don't know, means that does not gives you happiness, but it is more worst, painful condition. So what one has to understand, the knowledge, and that we will see how Mahaprabhu explains that why, what is the purpose of Vedas, why Lord has given the scriptures. So here Kavi explains, because he is separated from the Supreme Personality of a Godhead by the material energy, his conception of life is reversed. In other words, instead of being the eternal servant of Krishna, he becomes Krishna's competitor. See, somebody says that I'm not competing with Krishna. Why should I? I know my capacities. But you are competing with someone in this material world. Who is that? That someone is also created by the Lord. He has given him particular capabilities or capacities. And you are competing with that means you are competing with whom ultimately? With the Lord. But person who realizes that I'm the part and parcel of the Lord, and being a servant of him, everyone is my master. So do the servant compete with his master? Never. Then further he says, this is called viparyayo smritihi. Smritihi means forgetfulness. Because we forgot ourselves, we have forgotten our real identity. That's why these sufferings are there. Generally they ask why most of the saintly people, they are so quiet. There is always some kind of a peace on their face. And they are always in some certain bliss. Why? Because they are well connected with the Lord. And second thing, they have realized their own position. And they know that nothing in my hands in this world. I'm getting operated by the modes of material nature. And in that situation, what they do? They give up everything on the Lord. Because Lord is Sharanagata Palanahar. He is the one who takes care of whoever takes shelter at his lotus feet. But sometimes what happens? Not all the times actually, not sometimes, all the time people they think that you people are totally useless. Why? Because you don't want to try. You immediately give it up. You follow the philosophy of running away from the responsibilities. But do we really run away from the responsibility? First of all, their fundamental concepts are not clear. They think that everything is controlled by them. Ishwaroham, aham bhogi, siddhoham balavan sukhi. It's me who is the controller. Aham Ishwara, aham bhogi, I'm the enjoyer. And siddhoham, I'm perfect living being. So I can change anything and everything. But does that happen? How many of the people mostly have that freedom in their life to change things in their way? How many do they have? We think something and happens something else. We plan our year, but we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. Do we? Nothing. And that's why that saying has come. Man proposes and God disposes. God is not crazy that he will dispose your things. You propose, but you don't know when and how that thing will get into reality. We have desires in some life that I know I wanted such environment, so we got it. Because Ichha Dvesha Samutvena Dandva Mohina Bharata. Sarge Andi Param Tapa. He is explaining to Arjuna, why that creation has takes place. It's because of your desire. You wanted to enjoy. Not me. I am Atmaram. I don't need anything to enjoy in this world. But I have created everything because of your icha and dvesha, your envy towards me and desire to enjoy. So this whole creation has taken place. And that itself, as explained here, viparyayos asmriti. When someone goes away from Krishna and forgets his real connection with him, that becomes the cause of his bondage. And to nullify this mistake, one who is actually learned and advanced worships the Supreme Personality of a Godhead as his spiritual master, worshipful deity, and source of life. He thus worships the Lord by the process of unalloyed devotion. Then, what's the way and what is the procedure to get rid of these clutches of Maya? How one can get rid of this? See, these are the questions that one should ask and discuss when you are in the association of devotees. But generally, we don't do that. Because to ask this question also, you need a mercy of the Lord. Because in the beginning itself, when this conversation started, the first thing that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has explained, because Mahaprabhu showered his mercy upon Sanatan Goswami, that's why he became qualified to ask questions. And then he asked, and then Mahaprabhu says, what is that which can take you out of this covering of material energy? He says, Sadhu Shastra Kripaya Jadi Krishna Sanmukha Haya Se Jiva Nistare Maya Tahare Chadaya. If the conditioned soul becomes Krishna conscious by the mercy of saintly persons who voluntarily preach scriptural injunction and help him to become Krishna conscious, the conditioned soul is liberated from the clutches of Maya, who gives him up. So, as we have forgotten our connection with the Lord, and that's why material energy has covered up us. So, if we get reminded by our relationship with the Lord, then we can get rid of this material clutches of the Maya. As we see that, as they say that we need Jambavan in our life who can tell us our potencies. As Hanumanji, he was forgotten everything. He was not knowing that he is the one who can in one leap can go to Lanka. He can cross this ocean. Who reminded him? Jambavan. So same thing has happened with us. We are also forgotten and we also need that Jambavan. And who is that Jambavan in our life? Scriptures and spiritual master. Mahaprabhu categorically says here, Sadhu Shastra Kripa. It's the mercy of Sadhu and Shastra. Who is Sadhu? Who lives according to the scriptures. He is a Sadhu. So if we get association of such a person, then he reminds us about our forgotten relationship with the Lord. And once you become Krishnona Mukha. Means when you turn your face toward Krishna, now you are Krishna Bahirmukha. You are looking like Lord is standing like this and we are standing like this. And we are calling for the Lord. Is it possible? No. So when you come in association with the sadhus, they make you Krishna Unmukha. You can see Krishna face to face. They establish a relationship with Lord. Then further, Mahaprabhu says that he quotes from Bhagavad Gita, Daivi Hesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratya Mamayevaye Prapadyante Maya Mesham Tarandite. The person who takes shelter of the Lord, the internal potency of the Lord, then he get delivered from the clutches of Maya. And now Mahaprabhu is going to explain about what is the real purpose of scriptures. Why Lord has created them. What is the necessity? In this verse, Madhya Leela, chapter 20, text number 122, Mahaprabhu says, Maya Mugdha Jiver Nahi Swata Krishna Jnana Jiver Kripaya Kaila Krishna Ved Puran. The conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness by his own effort. But out of causeless mercy, Lord Krishna compiled the Vedic literature and its supplements as the Puranas. In Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 7, text number 5, is clearly explained by Sutta Goswami. He says that, Yaya sammohito jiva atmanam trigunatmakaha paropi manute anartham tatkritam chabhipadyate. Due to this external energy, the living entity, although transcendental to the three modes of material nature, thinks of himself as the material product and thus undergoes the reactions of material miseries. And this is a description of Maya's action upon the conditioned soul. Thinking himself as a product of this material energy, the conditioned soul engages in the service of the material energy in so much and so many ways. Because he has forgotten his connection with Allah. And he then becomes the servant of lust, greed, anger, envy. And he becomes totally servant of illusion. Then what reminds him? That is Vedic literature. Because as explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, that especially people in this age of Akali, they have these four most qualities. What are those? Manda, Sumanda, Mandabhagya, and Upadrata. What that means? Manda means lazy. We are lazy, once in a week also, to come to temple or to come and have a discussion about literatures or scripture. We are lazy for that also. Not only that, he says, Sumanda. Sumanda means? Huh? Confused. Not only lazy. Lazy, on top of that, they are confused. Don't know what to do with the time, On top of that, not only confused, but unfortunate. Totally unfortunate. Why is it so? As explained in the 12th canto, that Krite Yadhyayate Vishwam Tirtayam Yajutomakai Dvapare Paricharyayam and Kalautad. If you want to attain Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the Kriti Yoga, they used to perform thousands of years austerities. Can you imagine? Like Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra Rishi, he performed 60,000 years austerity. Then what happened? Then Menaka came. He lost his austerity. But he never gave up, Again, he started with his austerity. And what happened? Again, he fall down because of Shunashya. one of his sister's son. He cursed someone and he lost all his powers that he has got from performing austerities. He never gave up. Again, he performed another 60,000 years. Then what happened? Huh? Trishanku. Then he accepted to become the priest of Chandala. A Kshatriya became the priest of Chandala and he wanted to perform a yajna so that Chandala can go to Swarga with his body. As a result, what happened? Indra said, we can't take him, They just throw him out. So he started coming down, Trishanku. Then he said, okay, I will create another Swarga for you. And he started with the creation. Then Brahmaji appeared. He said, my son, it's my job. You don't have to do that. And then he created like few grains like maca, few animals like buffalo and coconut. That's the creation of Vishwamitra. Then he gave it up. There also he lost his austerities. Again he performed another 60,000 years. So how many years he performed? 2,400,000 years. He performed austerities. And then Lord said, okay, you're not tired, but I'm got tired enough. And Lord accepted him as his spiritual master. He taught their lordship all the Dhanurvidya, So it took him 2,400,000 years to attain the Lord. He started in Krita, then Dwapar, Treta, at the end of Treta, he was able to see their lordship. Dwapare Paricharya. In the Dwapar Yoga, you can get their lordship by worshipping according to the all rules and regulations of the scriptures. Visiting temple 6 times a day. Once in a 6 months is also too much sometimes. Then once in a 6 days is also too much for sometimes. And coming 6 times a day is too much for the age of Akali, And that's why the simplest method has given. Kalautad Hari Kirtana. And Mahaprabhu has given more discount. What he says? What's the second verse? Ikshashtaka. Tatrarpita Smaranena means no specific time. Whenever is it possible, just do it, but do it. And still, this Manda Buddhi, the most unfortunate Manda Bhagya people, they don't accept, I've seen, like my own father used to say, hey, this is foolish people, they chant on beats, We do ajpa japa without beats. One day I just gave him the counter and asked him, okay, whenever you remember God, just click it once. Not more than 20 times. Within 24 hours, not even the 20 times consciously he chanted the name of Lord. This is what happens with us, Whether consciously or unconsciously, you should chant. That's most important. And then, why we are not able to do that? That's the fourth quality that we have. Upadrataha. What it means? And people say, I'm fine. On top of this, I don't lie. Huh? It's सफेद झूठ बोल देते. कैसे हो? बढ़िया. What बढ़िया? What fine? Huh? And that's why the scriptures are there. They remind us again and again that this world is not meant for you. Get out of this. Then Mahaprabhu further says, Shastra Guru Atma Rupe Apanare Jana Krishna Mura Prabhu Trata Jivera Hayat Jnana. We really need to understand this. Ki Krishna Mora Prabhu Trata. Who is my savior? My master. Who is my master? Krishna. Krishna Mora Prabhu Tata Jivera Hayat Jnana. When you get this knowledge that Krishna is my master and he is my Trata, then it's possible to get out of this world. And how you can come to know about this, how you can reach to this particular conclusion. Shastra Guru. When you associate with the scriptures and accept the spiritual master in the life, then you will have this understanding. Then further, Lord, He Himself actually becomes a spiritual master and guides us from the heart. As explained in Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, text number 61. Ishvara sarvabhutanam riddheshu arjuna trishtake brahmayan sarvabhutani antrarudhani. The living entity is riding on this yantra, machine, which is created by the external potency of the Lord, Prakriti. And Lord, who is residing in everyone's heart as a Chaitya Guru, He tries to direct us, but we never follow His direction. That's our problem. But being so compassionate, He makes a situation where we can meet our spiritual master. The Chaitya Guru, who appears in the form of Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru, and he guides us throughout life. He reminds us that Lord has taken a vow, that his devotee will never perish. Name bhaktya pranasya. Actually, every day when we offer puja to their Lordship, then there is one Shama Yachana mantra that devotee they generally chant in front of the Lord. Pratidnya tava govinda name bhaktya pranashyati iti samspritya pranan sandharyami. Devotee, he says that I am keeping my breath, I am surviving because I know that you have given a promise that your devotees will never perish. And for that we need to become a devotee. And Lord has given His promise in 18th chapter, text number 66. Sarva dharmana parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. Don't worry, I will take you out of this material clutches. But for that you need to surrender unto me. And then actually things which is prominently explained by Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami. And the whole Gaudiya Siddhanta is based on this principle, which Mahaprabhu is going to explain to Sanatana Goswami. None of the previous acharyas, they have spoke about this. Even though it is given in the scripture itself, but not explained or explored or exhibited by any other acharya. And Lord, He Himself has done that. And what is that? Abhideya Nama Bhakti Prema Prayojana Purushartha Shiromani Prema Mahadana. Mahaprabhu is explaining about Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. 3 Sutri, these 3 formulas. The whole Gaudiya Siddhanta is based on these 3 things. Sambandha, our relationship with the Lord. Abhideya, process by which we can come to that relationship. And Prayojana, that is the ultimate happiness, Mahadhana, the richest wealth that you are going to attain. That's why Mahaprabhu says that Abhideya Nama Bhakti Prema Prayojana Purushartha Shiromani Prema Mahadhana. Devotional service or senses activity for the satisfaction of the Lord is called Abhideya because it can develop one's original love of God, which is the goal of life. That is the Prayojan. That is what we are living for actually. This goal is the living entity's topmost interest and greatest wealth. Thus, one attains the platform of transcendental loving service unto the Lord. And then Mahaprabhu explains that who is that person that who can really enjoy the transcendental mellow. Krishna Madhurya Sevananda Praptira Karan Krishna Seva Kare Ara Krishna Rasa Aswad. If you really want to be happy in this world, then need to perform Krishna Seva, and that is devotional service. That is the Abhideya. Ihate दृष्टांत यायचे दरिद्रेर घरे सर्वज्ञ आसी दुःख देखी पूछाचे तहारे. Now Mahaprabhu is explaining one wonderful analogy. One astrologer comes to one poor person's house. When that astrologer comes, that poor person goes and asks him, how I can get rid of this, my poverty? Can you guide me? Then that Sarvajna, that astrologer, he tells him that there is a ample of riches, ornaments, wealth that has been buried in your house actually, in the premises. But don't dig it on the south. If you do that there, then there are wasps. They can come and they can bite you. Don't dig it on west. If you do that there, then there is one yaksha, the ghost or witches. They have their spell on that. If you do it on the northern side, then there is one black python that may swallow you. But if you do it on the east side, then what happens? At very shallow depth, you will get all your riches. And then Mahaprabhu explains what exactly it means. He says that if you dig it on the southern side, then it's like a karma kanda. People who are too much entangled in karma kanda, as you do more karma kanda, you get more entangled because your desires they get increased. Oh, I did this, I followed this vrata, I got this results. So let me follow another one. So that never ends. It's going on, and that itself becomes another chain of the lifetime. And that's why Mahaprabhu compares them with the wasps. Because one honeybee comes and that stings you, or bumblebee comes and stings you. It's not that the one will bite you, the other one will also come. Because there is many of them, they are flying there. So try to get rid of this karma kanda, the material activities, fruitive activities. Then he says, don't do it on the western side. There is a yaksha, pishachi, or ghost. So what is that ghost? That is jnana kanda. Because what is the ultimate end of the jnana? Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Bhagavan, Knowing this, I will become Lord. So, it's like getting totally overpowered or getting haunted with this misconception. Already we are having a misconception that we are considering ourselves as a body. On top of that, we think ourselves as a Siddhoham, Balvan Sukhi, Ishwaroham, like I am the God. So knowledge also, sometimes it dries your heart so that you can't sow the seed of devotional service. So better to not dig on that side. On the northern side, there is a, what was there? A black snake or python, which is going to swallow you. And what is that? That is mystic yoga system. By following that, what happens? Like Bhishak Sen, he got some sort of a mystic power and he started considering himself as the incarnation of Balram. He started claiming himself as a Mahavishnu. And what happened then? Doomed. Nowhere, no destination at all. But on the eastern side, that is the knowledge of devotional service. When you render devotional service, Mahadhana, you're going to get this Krishna Prema Mahadhana. After explaining this analogy, Mahaprabhu, he explains that how this devotional service itself is the greatest boon for the living entity in this world. And then he quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam. He explains him that Yaiche Shastrakaye Karma Jnana Yoga Tyaji Bhakte Krishna Vashahaya Bhakte Tahara Bhaji. The revealed scriptures concludes that one should give up the fruitive activity, speculative knowledge, and the mystic yoga system and instead take to devotional service by which Krishna can be fully satisfied. And then he quotes from the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where there is a discussion of their lordship and Uddhava. And there he explains, Na sadayati mam yogo na sankhyo dharmo uddhavaha na swadhyaya sapastyago yata bhaktir mama rajita. The Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Krishna said, my dear Uddhava, neither through Ashtanga Yoga, that is mystic yoga system to control the senses, nor through the impersonal monism or an analytical study of absolute truth, nor through study of the Vedas, nor through austerities, charity, or acceptance of sannyas can one satisfy me as much as by developing unalloyed devotional service. In the next verse, this verse is like 11, 14, 20. In the 21st verse again he says, Bhaktyaham ekaya grahya Shraddhayatma priyastata Bhakti hi punati mananishta Swapakan api sambhavat. See, by performing devotional service, one can pleases their lordship and he can attain their lordship. Because this Bhakti Yoga system, which gradually increases attachment for the Lord and purifies even the human being who are born among the dog eaters. And that is to say, everyone can elevate it to the spiritual platform by process of bhakti. Jnana Kand, you need to be born in Brahmin families. Then there is Upanayana. Then after Upanayana, you are qualified to study particular Vedic system. Otherwise, you don't have any chance to go there. Karma Kanda also same thing. Not everyone is qualified to do karma. Especially Shudras, they can't do any Karma Kanda activities. They don't have rights. Even for the Shudra, if you do samskaras, then you should do that samskara without chanting any Vedic mantras. Then bhakti is the only one process which can be done by anyone. And Srimad Bhagavatam is a great example for We have seen devotion is performed by the first story in the Srimad Bhagavatam. That was the son of Gopa, who was not knowing who is his own father. Even he perfected his life by performing devotional service. That's Naradji when he became the son of maid servant. Huh? Then the fallen Brahmana like Ajamil, he was also able to perform devotional service. What to speak of Ajamil? Even the son of Daitya, Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj, he became worshipable by performing devotional service. What to speak of them? Animal like Gajendra, he attended the perfection. So, devotional service can be performed by anyone. And Rupa Goswami very nicely explains in Padyavali. There is one nice shloka. What is that really pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead? There he says, Vyadhasya acharanam. Vyada means hunter. Vyadhasya acharam dhruvasya chavayo vidya gajendrasya ka. He says that it's not that Lord got pleased to Vyadha. Vyadha means hunter. There are two hunters. We are going to get that another story in this same teachings of Sanatan Goswami. Mrigari and Ratnakar. Both they were hunters. One became Valmiki and the other became a pure devotee by taking association of Devarshi Narad. Then what was the age of Dhruva? People generally they think, hey, you are too young. Why? You can enjoy your life. Devotion can be done at this age. But really, that matters? No. Dhruva Maharaj attended their lordship at the age of 5. Some people they think, oh, maybe I'm not that educated, so I don't think so. I'm capable to read the scriptures and to know about the Lord. Not necessary. Gajendra, which university he went? Oxford? Cambridge? No, he was an animal. But he attended the ultimate perfection of life. Then he said, Kubjaya kim tad dhanam, kim tad rupam, kim tad sudamno dhanam. Few people are saying, I should be beautiful and attractive so Lord can get attracted to me. What was the beauty of Kubja? Huh? Some people they think, I'm so poor, I don't have money. How I can serve their Lordship? Then yes, Sudamno kittab dhanam. What was the opulence of Sudama? What he had with him? Then few people think that, hey, I'm low born, so I'm not qualified to perform devotional service. Vamshaka Vidurasya. In which dynasty Vidura was born? He was Dasiputra. Then few people they think that, oh, I don't have a Purushartha, I have not done anything in my life. Then he says that Vamshaka Vidurasya Yadavapate Ugrasya Kim Paurusham. He was caught and put into jail. Being a king, he was put into the jail by Kamsa. Then he says, Bhaktya Tushyati Kevalam Nachagunai Bhakti Priyoma. Madhava, he only gets pleased by devotional service. Nothing else. What guna, what qualities do we have? Do we have any qualities? We have only anarthas with us only. But with anarthas, if you perform devotional service, so that pleases the Lord. Why? Because devotional service is such a wonderful system that even purifies the Shvapaka, the person who ate dog, a dog eater, who is considered as a Chandala, he even gets purified by performing devotional service. And then further he says, Dhana paile yaiche shuka bhoga phala pai, sukha bhoga haite dukha apani phalai. So, when one actually becomes rich, becoming rich means what? Getting Krishna consciousness. He naturally enjoys all kinds of happiness. When one is actually in a happy mood, all distressful conditions go away by themselves. No extraneous endeavor is needed. And that's why the saintly people, they are so calm, because they have attained that. As explained in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that once yab labdhva chaparam labham na manyati adhikam tataha yasmin sthito hi dukkhena gurunam apina vichalam. Once they are situated in that platform, then how big or huge sufferings may come, they don't get disturbed by that. Then further Mahaprabhu said, ताइचे भक्ति फले कृष्ण प्रेम उपजाए प्रेमे कृष्ण आस्वादन हाइले भव नाशपाय. Similarly, as the result of bhakti, one's dormant love for Krishna awakens, and when one is so situated that he can test the association of Krishna, the material existence, the repetition of birth, death comes to an end. दारिद्र्य नाश भवक्षय प्रेमेर फलनय प्रेम सुख भोग मुख्य प्रयोजन है. The goal of love of God here is not to become materially rich or free from material bondage. The real goal is to be situated in devotional service to the Lord and to enjoy transcendental bliss. For the Mayavadis, liberation means atyanta dukha nivritti. But for devotees, liberation means Krishna prema prapti. They don't matter. They never matter where they are, in which situation they are. But they do matter about forgetfulness of Krishna. And that's why we have seen, like a Vritrasura, he was praying to their Lordship. Put me anywhere in the world, my Lord, according to my karmas. But favor me that I should get association of Uttama Shloka Jananu Sangaha. Your devotees. That's most important. Because the association of the materialistic people itself puts me in the cycle of birth or death. So they are not bothered. They are only bothered about forgetting Krishna. And then Mahaprabhu further explains, Veda Shastra kahe sambandha abhideya prayojana Krishna, Krishna Bhakti, Prema, Teen Mahadana. So for devotees, their real treasure is Krishna, Krishna Bhakta, and Krishna Prema. If someone has these three, then he is the richest person in this whole universe. Because Lord gets conquered by the devotion. Because all these scriptures, ultimately what they speak about? They speak about Vedadi Sakala Shastre Krishna Mukhya Sambandha Tara Jani Anusanga Jaya Maya Rabandha. When one understands that the object of all Vedic literature is Krishna, then automatically that Sambandha breaks the bandha, the bondage of material energy. And then the last verse, we will stop it here. Mahaprabhu quotes it from Padma Puran, where it is explained that all these scriptures, where they boils down, because when generally you study different scriptures, you find that there are different deities who are worshipped and considered as a supreme. Then really whom to worship? Shiva Puran says Lord Shiva is supreme, Brahma Puran says Brahma is supreme, Ganesh Puran says Ganesh is supreme, Devi Bhagavad says Devi is the supreme. Then what is the ultimate thing? Then Mahaprabhu quotes it from Padma Puran. He says, Vyamohaya characharasya jagatasya te पुराण आगमास ताम ताम एव ही देवताम परमिकाम जल्पन्तु कल्पावधि सिद्धांते पुनः एक एव भगवान विष्णु समस्त आगमा व्यापारेषु विवेचनः व्यतिकरम नीतेषु निश्चयेत। सिद्धांते पुनः एक एव भगवान विष्णु। There are many types of Vedic literatures and supplementary Puranas. In each of them, there are particular demigods who are spoken as the chief of demigods. This is just to create an illusion for moving and non-moving living entities. Let them perpetually engage in such an imagination. However, when one analytically studies all the Vedic literatures collectively, he comes to the conclusion that Lord Vishnu is the one and only Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Krishna Mora Prabhu Mora Trata. Krishna is the Supreme Person, the Master, and He is my deliverer. The whole scriptures, the all Vedic conclusions, they go around this particular point, that Krishna Mora Prabhu Mora Trata. Krishna is my deliverer and He is my master. So we'll stop here, and in next discussion, again Mahaprabhu explains the varieties of devotions and different expansions of the Lord. How to understand them, how to get connected with them, that we'll discuss on next session. श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की, श्री सनातन गोस्वामी पाद की।